Hola chicos, this is a follow-up video to using the subjunctive and adverbial clauses. This should be the final part of this. What we've learned already is we learned the escapa words. Remember, whenever you see the escapa words, with a couple little exceptions, but you see that en caso de que, sin que, con tal de que, antes de que, para que, a menos de que. If you see those expressions, you're probably going to use the subjunctive in that subordinate clause. And then we talked about when you might use the indicative or you might use the subjunctive depending on whether or not it had happened. And that's the same reasoning why you use them in the escapa ones, but they pretty much imply a thing that has not happened yet. So we use the subjunctive whenever we talk about something that hasn't happened. We kind of allow for the possibility that it won't happen. And you'll use the subjunctive if it hasn't happened. If it's something that has happened, we use the indicative. I think I made that clear in my last video. But one thing I don't think I made clear, that's why I'm making this follow-up video, is also want to mention that whenever an action happens habitually, as you can see right here, if it happens habitually, meaning just it happens regularly, it's a normal thing, and that's what this second example shows. You're going to use the indicative. It's similar to the imperfect a bit, where that you use when you're thinking about predicate versus imperfect. Remember, the imperfect is something that you did regularly in the past. So you would use, if you used to play, you played very often basketball, jugaba, you'll use the imperfect there. Well, when we're talking with adverbial clauses, again, it's a similar connection in that whenever you had something regular in the past, you use the imperfect. If it was talking about one of those times, you would use the preterite. It's the same thing here in that you are going to use the, you'll probably use the present tense, but you'll use the indicative if it's something that happens regularly. It happens often. This is just the way it is. And this is going to happen again, and it's happened before. It might be happening now. It's something that it happens regularly. You just use the indicative there. If it's talking about the next time that it hasn't happened yet, you're talking about that specific time, then you would use the subjunctive. So you can see here, like my father and I always have fun when we go to the river. Now, we see cuando in this sentence right here, cuando. Cuando sometimes is going to be subjunctive and sometimes going to be indicative. But here, it's not about that it hasn't happened yet. It's about that it happens regularly. And that makes a difference because if it happens regularly, you use the indicative. If it hasn't happened yet, you use the subjunctive. So my father and I always have fun when we go to the river. Has that happened? Yes. Sounds like it happens repeatedly. It's happened before. Now, if you were going to say, like the next time that we go to the river, this weekend we are going to the river. And, we want to say something like, we will have fun when we go to the river. In that case, when they finish with that cuando, we're going to use vayamos because it has this coming weekend. We haven't done it yet. So the regular occurrences, when we do this all the time. That's indicative. But next weekend when we go there, or this weekend when we go there, it hasn't happened yet. We're just talking about that one time. That is when we would follow cuando with the subjunctive because this time hasn't happened yet.